say welcome to my first ever art video or speed paint or whatever I'm gonna call this video. I'm not even sure yet. My first ever YouTube video. It's my first time ever really posting as a, not just commenting and liking videos, so it's an experience for me. This is my first ever speed paint I've done, and I guess I should just start by introducing myself. Hi, I'm Loon Von Violet. That's my username on Instagram, but I like to go by Amelia because it's a cute name. But yeah, you can call me Loon or Amelia or whatever. I'm mostly digital and traditional artist on Instagram. I'll leave a link down if you want to check my stuff out. I haven't really posted this one yet. I might have it posted by the time I get this video up. But this is a Draw This in Your Style challenge by Hoki Boshi. I'll put the handle up on screen so you can see it, since I don't know if I'm saying it right. But this is watercolor painting I decided on doing because watercolor is like the first ever medium that I've ever really worked with, and it's the one I'm semi-comfortable with, even though I'm pretty rusty because I'm mostly doing digital art these days, as you can see from my recent posts on Instagram. But I wanted to try to do a traditional speed paint, since some people find it satisfying. I mean, I find it satisfying, just chilling out and watching a video while someone talks about the process. And I sketched it out beforehand because I sketch really slowly, and I'd rather not have a 3-hour video to edit. This already took me I think almost an hour and 30 minutes for this simple painting, because I take my time. You can see I go really slow. Usually most artists would be done with the background by now, but I just wasn't getting the right opacity for my paint. That's one problem that I have, and I haven't really worked on it with my speed. This is honestly one of the fastest paintings I've done. Usually takes me more than 2 hours. And I tried to do the quickest painting I could, and this was honestly, it was really fun though. I really do love seeing the process of watercolor, the color slowly getting darker. And as you can see from the reference picture, which I'm gonna edit up there, it's a very dark, muted, but also bright piece, and I just really love the simplicity of it. It brings me joy. So what else can I say about myself? Well, I guess I've been taking my art seriously for I think around 3 years, since 2017. I think it's been 2017. I got my first tablet. It was a Huion. It's always hard to pronounce that. Huion tablet. It was so tiny. It was the smallest thing. My phone was slightly almost the same size as my phone, and it took me a while. My first few pieces were not great at all. It was honestly a struggle, but I got slightly better at it. But it wasn't long after that I made the jump over to iPad, because that was around the time that iPad Pro came out, and I was just damn, I wish I could afford it. But I was a broke college student, so I could not afford the iPad Pro back then. I still can now. I'm saving up though. Whatever money I get, I just save it up for a future iPad. But yeah, right now I just have the 2018 iPad, and that one works really good. It's very economic. Like it's not super expensive. It is an investment, but and I got the Apple Pencil secondhand from eBay, which is a great place to buy stuff. I don't use Amazon anymore because they don't ship over to where I live. Usually it's very limited what they ship over, so I don't buy Amazon. Also, it's a really shady company and I don't want to support them. So yeah, sorry if I say a lot. I get really nervous because I'm gonna have to hear my voice and I'm not a fan of it, so yes, I'm gonna try not to say So yeah, oh god, I did it again. Oh no. But yeah, so what else can I talk about? I guess I can talk about kind of like the change I go through sometimes, and I kind of jump between traditional digital all the time. I just keep experimenting with different mediums. I love buying new art supplies whenever I can, whenever I have the money, or there's a deal. Usually I just go to the sale section and just shop for things that are good but are on sale too. So recently I've been playing around with posca pens, and oh my god, those are so satisfying to use, but also really annoying because they eat up paper like crazy. Oh my god, it's very annoying, but the results are so satisfying and opaque, which also made me wanna play around with gouache, which is a very trendy art material right now. I've seen so many YouTubers in the art community play with. Oh, I just noticed I painted my iPad screen. Great. I'm such a messy artist. I admire people that can be super organized, but I don't know if you can notice I have a very small workspace, as you can see here. I had to like move so much stuff around to make space for this tiny little painting. So yeah, whoa, I went off on a tangent. I'm probably gonna edit this so it doesn't sound weird. Maybe not, I don't know. I like those videos of people that just draw and talk about random things. It just kind of feels like they're communicating, like having a conversation with me. Maybe that's just me, I don't know, but I do find it very satisfying to watch paint and also to hear what people have to say. So, guess if you like that, yay, you get to hear my stream of consciousness, my train of thought, literally, because I don't have a script. I just have a vague outline of what I can talk about because I honestly don't know what I'm doing right now. So yeah, I guess I can say that watercolor was definitely my first medium I've ever used, and you could say otherwise because right now it's not looking great. My skills are kind of rusty since I've been mostly using my iPad to create stuff on Procreate. It's honestly the best for me, like the best art program to use for digital, at least. And before, I would have never paid more than a few bucks for an app, but I was like, you know what, I'm gonna invest in this $10 app because, you know, I gave it a chance. I was like, you know, I'm gonna give it a try. But anyway, we're not using iPad Pro right now. I just love them so much I go off on a tangent, and I'm sorry. But yeah, so I guess I can talk about my style and my origins of art, because a lot of people, I was like, oh, when did you start drawing? And to answer that, I've always kind of loved drawing. You know, all kids love to draw at some point in their lives. I kind of grew out of it as I was older, but then once I got into my art class back in, I think it has to be 4th grade or 5th grade. I don't remember. It was elementary. Yeah, it was elementary, and my teacher back then, she was the teacher that left such a big impact on me, because she made art very loosely. She was not a strict art teacher at all. She was just so nice, and she was such a sweetheart, and honestly, she never criticized anyone's art, because she realized that, you know, she had to follow curriculum, but she still let kids have their creativity, you know, express themselves, even if it meant it wasn't part of the curriculum. And yeah, we did have to do realistic stuff like drawing animals, I had to draw armor once, and I sucked at it. I don't know how I passed that class, but she honestly was one of the best teachers I've ever had. And after that, that was really the only time I ever had art class. After that, high school, there's no art at all. Like, I doodled here and there. I had some watercolor paintings that were very emo. They were honestly like, oh, it's a time capsule of how I was back then. I was so edgy. Mostly emo. It was a lot of depressing stuff. But yeah, I guess I can show that some other day if people even want to see it, because I doubt anyone's gonna watch this video anyway, so whatever. I doubt I'll get any views, honestly. I'm kind of just doing this because I'm bored in quarantine, like pretty much everyone. But yeah, watercolor was my first medium, and I just loved that you could get so many colors with just the basics. Like right now, I only have these two watercolor pan sets, I guess you can call them. The one on the left is the Sakura Koi travel palette. I don't know the specific name, I bought it so long ago. Oh, yeah, I did not dilute those eyes enough. They look terrifying. It's fine, I fix it afterward. So yeah, I had the Reeves on the right. It's Reeves watercolor pan. I don't know if it's how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, like the 12 pan set. And honestly, I that's all I really need. I don't really do anything fancy with watercolor. I don't need to invest a lot in that. And I recently got some gouache, so I might do some gouache after this one, because gouache is so satisfying. It's so thick. Watercolor, it takes a while until it starts looking good. Meanwhile, gouache always looks impeccable. The first pass, it's always amazing. But yeah, watercolor is my first time using an art medium. Like, I guess seriously, but not really. At least I tried. And yeah, I still love it to this day. It's just very finicky to work with, especially when I don't have like the really expensive paper and stuff, and you don't really need expensive paper, but it's a better medium if you have some really nice high quality watercolor paper. Since this one, I think it's a Daler Rowney watercolor pad. I could be wrong, could be Canson. I don't know, I just have loose watercolor paper, since most of my watercolor pads tend to not hold up. They kind of just fall apart after a while, because I don't really use them that often anymore. So yeah, and the water brushes are legitimately just the water brush that comes with the Sakura Koi set. And I mostly use water brushes because I need the speed and I need the control that you can have with the watercolor. You're like, oh yeah, you can just put in X amount of water into this, and like, oh no, I want more. It's honestly great. I love water brushes. They're synthetic. I try not to use natural hairs because even though I'm not a vegan, I don't like to be like, oh, I don't want to convey hurting animals for like stuff like art. And yeah, I have tried to not eat as much meat these days because I know how the industry is, and it's not the best, and it's not environmentally friendly, but I respect people's choices, and I expect people to respect, my choices. But anyway, that's a heavy topic. I'd rather not talk about that. So yeah, I mostly use synthetic water brushes. They're amazing. I guess it's because I grew up using them, so yeah. For me, they're easy to use. And right now, I'm just applying some line art because, to be honest, this is not looking great. The watercolor is super patchy. I don't know if it's the paper or the paint, since it is kind of old. It's not the newest paint, so I'm not sure if it was that. But it's fine. You can always remedy it. I go by the words of Bob Ross. So happy accidents, little accidents, whatever. I forgot the saying, but basically I don't stress over the mistakes that much because I know I can just fix it. I say that now, watching the video, but in the moment I was freaking out because I was like, damn, this looks really, really bad. How am I gonna save this? I already have at least 40 minutes of me painting, so I can't really give up, so yeah. But it's fine. I remedy in the end. So yeah, I'm mostly a mixed media artist. I don't really stick to one type of art medium. Mixed media, it's just more fun. You can do more things. If I just stick to one thing, it's kind of, I get bored. Pretty much, I just get really bored of one thing and one thing only. Yeah, I did try out, usually I do line my pieces with ink, but I just didn't want that harsh line to come through. I wanted the nice, soft, like, colored line art look that kind of matches with the colors, but it's not, it's not too dark. I've learned that I don't use dark line art a lot now. I like the softer look, but I do sometimes also love the really graphic comic style of like harsh line art and rough. It's always a balance of me wanting to do soft pastel aesthetic things, but I also love grungy, rough line art, like pretty much a dark sketch with color on it. I'm not consistent. Let me just warn y'all right now, I am not consistent at all with my art. I fluctuate way too much. One day I could be drawing cute aesthetic girls, and the other time I could be drawing a demon with some emotional issues. Like it's never gonna be one thing, and maybe it'll change. Maybe, I don't know. I love experimenting too much with my art. I just find that like I haven't reached that point in art that I just do the same thing over and over and over. And that's something I struggle with on Instagram a lot, because people, if they like one picture, they expect everything else on your feed to be the same or have the same effect, have the same vibe to it. And that's just not a thing that I do. And I'm sure if you've seen my Instagram, you know that it's usually fantasy one day, portraits the other. It really varies, and that's something I think I struggle with a lot on Instagram, because people do expect consistency and like the same art style, the same themes, the same color palettes. Your feed has to be homogeneous in its color palette, and that's just something that I admire in other people, but I just cannot for the life of me apply it to myself, because I just feel like I'll get bored of it and just eventually hate my own art, and that's not something I really want. I love making art. I honestly love the process, the ideas coming to life, I absolutely adore my art, and it's taken me a long time to kind of reflect upon that for myself, because for so long I kind of only thought of my art as a hobby, and maybe right now it is still a hobby because I'm not really making any money from it. I legitimately have not made any commissions at all. I have a Redbubble, but I've made no sales on it. Only one sale, which was a family member, and that kind of felt shitty because it's like, oh, a pity buy. And I didn't, it made me so happy, and then when the family member revealed it, it kind of took it away from me, and I was just like, oh well, the only person that'll buy my art is my family, which is fine. I'm not saying that's bad. I just thought it would be more than, I mean, but I couldn't really expect anything else because I was only starting out on Instagram. I was pretty much just starting. Nothing, I wasn't really serious about it. So I only had I think I had only 100 followers, and I still have 180 something followers right now. So yeah, I don't post regularly. I take a long break from art because I get unmotivated. I'll be honest, it doesn't motivate me. They say, oh, don't worry about numbers, don't worry about engagement, but it's hard not to, because as someone that wants to make a living out of their art, it's really hard to separate numbers from how you feel about your art, So yeah, it's kind of hard to not let it get to me, but I still make art, even when it's not being posted on my social media. I definitely do art that's only for me, and I don't show it to other people because I want it to be personal, But the things I do decide to share, I do put a lot of work into it, and it may seem easy, or it looks like, oh yeah, I could draw that, but I've said that before about artists and art on Instagram. I'm like, oh, that's so simple, I could do that. And then when I actually get to trying something similar, I'm like, oh, this is really hard. This is a lot harder than it looks. So don't take art for granted, people. It's a lot of work, a lot of time put into it, money as well. But yeah, that's just, art has been my savior during this whole quarantine right now. Quarantine has not been kind at all to me. Yeah, I don't want to get too deep into it, but got laid off, and yeah, it was a rough time. Try not to let it get to me though, because life goes on. I can't really control what happens in the world. It was something out of my control, so I try not to let it get to me. But yeah, art has been what I do almost every day, or at least I try to every day. I don't go out a lot, so I just stay inside and paint and sketch, and that's pretty much what I do most of the time. And now with Animal Crossing, oh man, boy, Animal Crossing. This is I first got Animal Crossing when I have my Switch now, which is this year. So I got my Switch back in my university days, and I never really had Animal Crossing before. I played New Leaf a bit, but I played it on an island that was already made, or at least it was already occupied, so I couldn't really experience it fully. And yeah, I started the island now, and wow, what a way to start Animal Crossing. I'm pretty much addicted. I'm gonna say it right now, I'm pretty much addicted to Animal Crossing. It's the game I've sunk the most time in my life into. I have never played a game as much as I played Animal Crossing, and yeah, I'm pretty sure that's everyone right now, because hello, we got nothing else to do. At least I don't. But yeah. So yeah, Animal Crossing has been my procrastination tool of choice. It's taken all my time from me, and I willingly let it take my time, so I'm not gonna complain. As my first game, I now am in the Animal Crossing community because I've seen so many posts and so many videos. I literally watch, if I'm not playing Animal Crossing, I'm watching other people play Animal Crossing on YouTube. And yeah, it's not great. It's not great when you want to be a consistent, like, art content, like, to make content up for your social media, like Instagram or DeviantArt or whatever, which I have both of those, but I don't use DeviantArt as much. But yeah, Animal Crossing, everyone's playing it. It's crazy. The community, it's awesome, but I've noticed some things that maybe other people may have noticed too, but it's not really talked about that much, I think. I mean, I haven't seen any videos talking about it, but wow, the surgence of Animal Crossing now, with the whole villagers being kind of just, they're pretty much just little toys, because apparently I've seen some villagers that their dialogue are really boring, like they're very repetitive, and I've noticed that there's a lot of repeated dialogue, and it kind of bums me out because I've seen playthroughs of older videos and they had so much more personality, like they had more individuality, and I just feel like the Animal Crossing team probably, they were just like, oh, we don't want to do so much, you know. I'm pretty sure they had a time crunch as well, so I'm not blaming them. It's just, it feels kind of like it was rushed, and they were like, oh, I'll just repeat dialogue with different, you know, different catchphrases, and that's fine. I mean, I guess if you just want aesthetics on your Animal Crossing island, that's fine, but I do love interacting with my villagers. And I love all my villagers, even though I joke about hating one of them. I don't hate them. I low-key love him. His name is Lime, and he's a koala. I just don't like his eyebrows. If he didn't have those eyebrows, I'd love him, like, unconditionally, but those eyebrows, man. Oh boy. But I haven't kicked them out or anything. I just let them go whenever they want to. I'm not time traveling to make them move out. If it happens, it happens. But honestly, I don't get the whole hype about Raymond and all the top tier villagers. I feel like that's kind of, it feels like a little bit elitist of some people to just be like, oh, I have Raymond and Meringue and what's the other one, Judy, and it's like, people, it's just, if you think about it, it's really, there's nothing really exciting about him. He's a great cat with glasses. He's new, I guess he's the new kid on the block, so I guess everyone's going crazy, but I don't get it. I mean, he's a smug villager that is a cat and has cool eyes. That's it. Same with every other, like, they are adorable. Of course, I'm not gonna say they're not cute. Not Raymond too much, because I just think he's a cute cat. That's it. I don't really see the whole, like, oh my god, I must have Raymond on my island. I don't really care, honestly. I do have, like, a one dreamy that I love with all my heart, which is Dottie. That rabbit is so cute, and I'm biased because she shares my birthday. So yeah, March 14th is Dottie's birthday, and oh, I wonder how that's gonna be, since it's when the time comes, which she will be on my island, because I will not let her go. I love her too much. She's honestly my favorite villager, and I don't care what anyone says, she is my soulmate. But yeah, I don't get the hype, but it's fine. I respect people's, their right to love whoever they love, and if they want to pay 10 million bells for Raymond, that's your bells, man. Go ahead. You do what you do. But yeah. But I just think it's kind of... It feels like he's more of a status symbol than anything. He's like, oh, I have Raymond on my island, so my island's better than yours. Like, that type of vibe is what I get, and I'm not in for that. I'm not with that at all. I don't like that type of showing off. I don't like show-offs in general. I hate when people do that. It's honestly the worst thing, and I immediately distance myself from them socially and, physically, because I'm not hanging out with anyone right now that I don't know personally. So yeah, I just don't get it. But I just feel like that's the kind of vibe that's going on with the whole Animal Crossing thing. And more power to you if that's your thing. Good for you. You have Raymond or Meringue or whatever. That's fine. But yeah, I have all my villagers. I love them dearly. I take photos of them each time someone moves out. Before they move out, I always take a picture of them, so I have their poster to remember them by. And yeah, I legitimately love all of my villagers, no matter what. So yeah. So yeah, man. YouTube right now, it's kind of crazy. So many people are on YouTube now that there's not much to do. Everyone's staying at home, and I told a friend once that I was like, oh man, now everyone's staying at home. Now it's mainstream. And I was doing it before quarantine was necessary. But nah, I don't really think that about it. Yeah, I've always been a homebody, so now I just am a homebody that has to worry about not getting the sickness. So yeah, apparently you can't say that these days on YouTube, so I'm not gonna say the word at all. Yeah. So yeah, YouTube right now is my only streaming that I really watch. I only ever watch Hulu and YouTube, sprinkle in some Netflix, because yeah, that's pretty much what everyone's doing. But yeah, pretty much that is what I watch, and I see so many islands on Animal Crossing YouTubers that they legitimately only do Animal Crossing, and that's crazy though. Like, this has been such a short amount of time for this game to be out, and it's already like one of the biggest games of the year. And even compared to Breath of the Wild, like, that was the most played game back when the Switch came out. And now with Animal Crossing, it's even crazier. I love it. I love Animal Crossing content. I eat it up like crazy. So yeah. I might do an island tour, but trust me, it's not the same island tours you've seen. My island is not complete at all. I've not even had 5 stars yet, so yeah, it's not the most done up, so don't expect anything. But yeah, besides that, yeah, I should probably talk about this art now. Well, I've rambled on about so many things. So I'm just putting the finishing touches that you can see here with my Posca pen. Wow, I love Posca pens a lot. I don't know if I mentioned that already. Posca pens are honestly my favorite marker right now. I don't touch alcohol markers anymore because these babies are so smooth and satisfying. And yeah, this piece, it's pretty much done. I love how she turned out. Honestly, she is the cutest, and not as cute as the original, but hey, you know, it's my style for the day because I still don't have a consistent art style, but maybe I'll find it on the way. I don't know. So yeah, I really hope you like this video, and if you want to check out my art, you can go to my Instagram, my DeviantArt, even though I don't really post on there that much, but if you don't have Instagram for some reason, you can go there. I'd plug my Facebook, but no one uses Facebook anymore, so yeah, that's mostly just so I can handle promotions and stuff on my Instagram. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Here's a little slow piece with some stuff that I added afterward, and I lost the footage, so I'm so sorry. But yeah, thank you so much for watching my video, and I guess like the video if you like it, dislike it if you don't. Let me know, man. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and hope you have a great day.